This evening on ENN Tonight.
Doors are closed and construction is underway. Find out what renovations are coming to this campus building.
A familiar face around the town of Elon is retired. Hear about his impact on our community.
I felt like that was the best time to break.
Monks on a Walk for Peace are coming through North Carolina. When and where you can see them next.
Those stories and more.
ENN Tonight starts now. Good evening, and thank you for joining us for our first ENN Tonight of 2026. I'm Abby Gravely.
And I'm Alice Morrissey. Let's dive right into this week's top stories. Starting off tonight, the Mooney Building, Elon's Education Center building, will be closed for the rest of the semester due to renovations. These renovations have already begun and include replacing the windows, upgrading the HVAC system, and reevaluating the gutters and drainage. The staff and faculty offices have been relocated, including the teaching fellows' offices, which have been moved to the basement of the Powell Building. The building is set to reopen in the fall. On top of Mooney being closed, the LaRose and Mooney parking lots will also be shut down during this period.
In the city of Mebane, 3 employees have been fired and 8 more have been suspended within the last year. According to the Alamance News, the city of Mebane fired a maintenance technician and a groundskeeper in April, one for failing a drug test and the other for failing to complete one. The Mebane Police Department has had the most disciplinary actions, with 3 suspensions and 1 demotion. 3 of the officers are still employed while 1 did resign. The reasoning behind their suspensions have not been publicly released.
The Disney World of gas stations, Buc-ee's, is opening its first North Carolina location right here in Alamance County after several construction delays. Construction is actually already begun in late 2025, but it was delayed because of sewer permits and issues with the city of Graham. This Buc-ee's will open in Mebane, not too far off campus, and the site will be 34 acres, with a plan to widen Trollingwood-Hawfield roads and extend exits and entrances from I-40. This part of the process is projected to take around 18 months. Buc-ee's will open 200 full-time jobs, such as cashiers, bathroom attendants, warehouse staff, and food service workers. It also includes 650 parking spots, including 11 spaces for buses and recreational vehicles, 120 gas pumps, and electric vehicle charging sites as well. Buc-ee's media team declined an interview with Elon News Network, but provided a projected opening date of May 2027.
A valued member of the Elon Community Church retired from his ministerial position at the start of the new year. ENN's Angelina Fantaroni has more on Randy Orwig's impact on the Elon community.
Former pastor Randy Orwig has held the position since 2011, a total of nearly 15 years.
I felt like that was the best time to break because of what was going on with holidays. And pastors and holidays have to match, It's not good to get a brand new pastor for a holiday that's going on.
On July 1st, Orwig announced his retirement by writing a letter to the United Church of Christ congregation. He says his farewell has caused a little bit of grief.
I think on the whole, we prepared everybody quite well. We've talked about it. I gave 6 months notice, and we took our time really trying to help people understand it. We had several gatherings, and those things really made a difference too.
Grief is something that the town of Elon may feel as well, with Orwig's connections to specifically the Elon Farmers Market. Downtown Development Director Jill Weston says Orwig has been an instrumental part in growing town programs.
I mean, he's like literally the king kahuna of the parking lot over there. The university shares it, the church shares it, we utilize it.
However, Orwig's former pastor position isn't the only one he's held for Elon. He's also currently an Elon Town Council member.
He values what we do as much as we value what he did over there. So we're really going to miss him in that capacity. I'm just grateful he's still on the town council, so I get to still interact with him on a regular basis.
Orwig says he will not be available for weddings, funerals, or counseling, so the church can build a relationship with the incoming pastor. Angelina Fantaroni, ENN Tonight.
Elon Community Church currently has a ministerial team as the interim pastors while they search to fill the position.
And joining us live in studio is Town of Elon Mayor Emily Sharp. Emily Sharp, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, happy to be here and love to see that about Randy as well.
I know. So starting off, you just were reelected. So what is your biggest priority in your new term coming up?
Well, the town of Elon is dealing with a lot of growth right now, more growth than what we've really seen in a long time. So I want to continue to see, that done in a nice, orderly fashion, and with our community to just be aware of what is happening. I think that transparency in government is incredibly important, and so I want to continue to lead with that transparency. When people ask me a question, they're going to get a direct and honest answer, and I am excited about those new developments. And there's, a lot going on campus as well, so continue that partnership with Elon University is really important to us.
I love that about the partnership with Elon University. I think that's something that especially students really care about. And also an awesome segue to my next question. What is something you and City Council kind of are hoping to do to continue to build that relationship with the Elon University community?
So one of the things that I am asking our town council to take up as an initiative this year is what I'm calling our RISE committee. And through RISE, it's all about coming together, building community, and that's not just our residents or our full-time residents. That's also with students and also members of the retirement communities in town. I think it's really important that when Elon students are here, that they feel at home here and get engaged here. And I think that not only that, it can also lead them to job opportunities here locally, because this is a great place to live. I didn't grow up here. I didn't even know about Elon, North Carolina, 15, 20 years ago. But now I truly believe there's no better place in our country to live.
So there's a town council meeting coming up tomorrow, and we saw that on the agenda. You guys are going to talk a little bit about the fiscal year draft of 2026 and the 36 capital investment plan. And you talked about it last council meeting too. What major projects do you hope to prioritize first off of that plan?
Well, the majority of our budget is spent on personnel costs, so the costs for salaries and benefits for our employees. Second to that is really focused on maintaining public safety. The town of Elon consistently is ranked at some of the top when it comes to college towns in the country and towns across North Carolina. So we want to stay there, and I think that when we think about capital, it also unfortunately goes under the ground, so it's not the most fun thing to spend money on, like maybe a playground or even a sidewalk, but there's a lot of expenses that we have in water and sewer, but also in those fire trucks. A fire truck now costs over $1 million. Our recent one was over $2 million. So finding a way to really focus on that level of spending in a small town with a small budget, while also meeting the needs of our residents outside of public safety.
Yeah, so I'll wrap up here with just a final question. What's a message that you would like to share to the town of Elon looking ahead?
I think that it's a good time to be here. We are growing, and reach out. Our town council is incredibly approachable. We want to hear from our residents, and to the Elon students, get engaged. We want to hear from you all as well, and we look forward to at least my next 4 years here on our town council.
Well, Madam Mayor, thank you so much for joining us. We've really appreciated having you here.
Thanks for having me.
Back to you at the desk, Abby.
Thanks, Alice. The 2026 Workforce Development Rankings have been released, and North Carolina came out on top. These rankings are measured on how well states prepare and sustain skilled workers. These are based on education credentials, technical skills, and productivity. Job growth and business expansions were linked to the state's workforce readiness. And today is the first day North Carolina voters can begin mail-in voting in advance of the primary election. County boards of elections are sending absentee by mail ballots to registered voters who have requested them. Voters planning to mail in their ballots who haven't yet registered have until February 6th. But those who do plan to vote early in person can register that same day.
Will all this warmth lately continue into this week? Stick around and I'll have your Phoenix 5-day forecast after the break.
I don't know why you're so sad. You've got a roof over your head.
You gotta stop with that depressing stuff. That's what white people think. You alright?
It just feels like it's coming from everywhere.
Do you want to talk about it?
You can talk to me if you're feeling sad.
Whenever you need to talk, I'm here, okay?
Whether it's our stories, the warmth of our laugh, or our family's secret sauce, we all bring something different to the table. So make some space. The power of connection is waiting right outside your comfort zone. Learn how you can help strengthen your community at belongingbeginswithus.org/teamup.
There's only one thing that will save somebody's life, and that is naloxone nasal spray. Get 911 on the phone, get the emergency responses there on their way.
Yo, camping buddy. Okay, you guys ready?
Dude, I thought you were driving.
I thought you were driving.
Oh, I never said I was driving.
I definitely can't drive.
Okay.
If you're high, just don't drive. It's illegal everywhere. If you feel different, you drive different.
Hate is loud, but love is the majority.
A 2,300-mile walk undertaken by around 24 monks and 1 dog. It will soon reach North Carolina, and Abby is giving us a rundown on what we can expect in the next week or so about this. Abby, what's going on with this journey?
Thanks, Alice. A group of Buddhist monks began their walk for peace on October 26th in Fort Worth, Texas. They've since covered 6 states, with the final destination of Washington, D.C. planned for around February 11th. Over the course of their 110-day trips, the monks plan to visit 9 states across the southeastern U.S., visiting each of the state capitals along the way. And this week, they'll be here in North Carolina. The group is estimated to reach Charlotte this Thursday before journeying in to Salisbury, Greensboro, Siler City, Raleigh, and Centerville in the following days. The journey is not a form of protest, but rather an awareness campaign for peace, loving kindness, and compassion, according to the group's Facebook page. Spiritual leader Bhikkhu Panakara says that the goal of the walk is to, quote, awaken the peace that already lives within each of us, and to serve as, quote, a simple yet meaningful reminder that unity and kindness begin within each of us and can radiate outward. At each stop along their journey, the group gives peace talks and interacts with the large crowds that have gathered to support their cause. This support has included donations of food and other supplies. Exact dates for each stop are subject to change based on weather and other logistical factors. So for the most up-to-date information, check out the Walk for Peace Facebook page. Now back to you at the desk, Alice.
Thanks for that, Abby, and we'll keep an eye out on the monks as they make their way here. And as Black History Month is coming up, Elon hosted author of The Many Kings, The Complex Life of Dr. Martin Luther King Jr., Kwame Anthony Appiah. To give the MLK Jr. address, ENN's Angelina Fantaroni sat down with Appiah for an exclusive interview to hear more about his speech.
What lessons do you take away from his life and his legacy?
Well, I think there are many to take. Obviously, one is to take seriously the thought that we have an unfinished struggle for equality in the world, in our country and in the world. I think another is that people can be enormously important and positively important for questions of political justice and be flawed. Dr. King was a flawed individual in some ways, as we all are. We're all flawed, nobody's perfect. I think it's good to be able to recognize and celebrate someone for the things that are great about them while acknowledging the things that are not so great.
How do you kind of think civil rights are today versus how they were back then?
Well, when he started out, when he got married, for example, to Coretta Scott in Marion, he couldn't stay in a hotel in that town, so he spent the first night of his married life as in the guest room of a funeral parlor in Marion. And now, because of the legislation that was passed, in part because of campaigns that he played a part in, it's illegal to deny people accommodations on the basis of race in this country. And that's one of his achievements. So clearly things are not as they were in the 1950s when he was beginning his work. But his work is obviously uncompleted. We human beings are imperfect creatures. We never get everything exactly right. And I think it remains the case in this country that you can show that race plays a role in determining people's life chances, and that black people have, on average, worse life chances. And that's still true. And so there's unfinished work to be done.
To see the full exclusive interview with Appiah, visit our YouTube channel at Elon News Network.
Our Mackenzie Cruz is in studio with your weather for this upcoming week. Hey Mackenzie, how's it looking so far?
Thanks, Abby. The warmth from this weekend will continue into the start of the week, and then it's going to cool down just a bit. Now for your Phoenix 5-day forecast. Tonight we'll see a low of 25 with clear skies and some wind. Tomorrow we'll have a high of 57 and lots of sunshine. The clouds will roll in Wednesday with wind and a high of 53, and the rest of the week will cool down to the low to mid 40s. Thursday we're looking at more wind, mostly cloudy skies, and a chance of afternoon showers. Friday will still be chilly, but with more sunshine. And finally, Saturday will have more of the same with partly sunny skies and a high of 45 with a low of 27. That's all for this week, but I'll be back later with why it's been so warm this winter. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Mackenzie. We'll try to enjoy a warm J term for as long as we can.
Stick around after the break to see how the Phoenix played against Campbell men's basketball.
I don't think that many kids in my son's school even do it.
He makes fun of his friend who vapes.
He would never try it.
She's into soccer.
She's on the honor roll.
She's just not the type.
No way.
No way.
No way.
No way, my kid would never vape.
Get your head out of the cloud. Today, nearly 8,000 kids will start vaping. Maybe even yours. Learn about the dangers at talkaboutvaping.org.
Even more than I wanted a gold medal, I wanted a heart of gold, like the mentors who were my balance beams refusing to let me down, and the coaches who spoke out to anything out of bounds, heroes who never stood on podiums, but stood up for me, Every shot I made, give the assist to those who since my youth were referees, ready to blow the whistle and end abuse.
I rescued Toast from a shelter in 2011. I love Toast because she's a lazy diva. Toast does whatever she wants, obviously. She's sleeping right now. She's an epic snuggler. She's so comforting. She's so loving. Toast makes me laugh. When I walked into the shelter, I knew right then that she was special.
Kudos, Carl. You've always had a need for speed. Racing anything with wheels, speed reading novels in record time, yelling out 3, 2, 1 at every traffic light. But this time, you've taken your power obsession to the next level. By purchasing this electric vehicle, you've given yourself instant torque that blows your old launch times away, which will keep you saying, "Woo-wee," every time you punch the pedal. Good for your adrenaline, great for the planet. That's the power of EV.
Elon men's basketball faced off against Campbell University on Saturday. Our Kathan Gandhi is here in studio to tell us about the ins and outs of Elon's hard-fought matchup.
Thanks, Abby. Entering its 17th game of the season, the Phoenix have flown far beyond preseason CAA expectations. The team was picked to place 12th out of 13 teams. But riding the backs of an abundant transfer class, Elon's offense has hit record-setting heights. Elon ranks first in the CAA in points scored per game, shooting lots of threes and spacing the floor. But Campbell has a very similar offensive makeup. The Campbells are third in scoring in the conference, led by the CAA's top three-point scorer. It was a battle of two high-flying offenses, and I was courtside to see who would come out on top. Despite chance of Elon struggled to contain Campbell's offense early. A barrage of threes gave the Campbells a 21-9 lead halfway through the first.
But I think we started out kind of slow, and then we decided to have our own energy. Like, the crowd brought energy, but we got to start the energy.
Pace on offense and a spirited defense helped Elon chip at the lead. A late 6-point run by the Phoenix left Elon down 81-82 with 2 minutes to play. That's when Randall Pettis II went to work and pierced the defense to take an 83-82 lead.
Yeah, I mean, it's a jab and try to get to the rim. Just got to be confident with it. If you're not confident, then you probably won't see that.
Shar Stadium was dynamic. Feeding off the energy, Elon held Campbell scoreless for the final 4 minutes. When Campbell's last jumper fell short, the crowd erupted.
We had a great crowd tonight, tremendous energy, and down the stretch in a close ball game, that can really propel you, and I thought it really helped us. We've got to tighten some things up, but certainly much better to learn from a win against a really good ball club.
With the win, Elon rises to an 11-6 record, 3-1 in conference play. Kathan Gandhi, ENN Tonight. Elon next plays on January 15th at Northeastern. And in other sports news, Elon's starting quarterback, Landon Clark, is transferring to Louisiana State University. Clark made this announcement on social media, ending a recruiting battle among multiple Power 4 programs. Clark was named the Coastal Athletic Association Co-Offensive Rookie of the Year. And on top of that, Elon's backup quarterback, Marco Linus, has also entered the transfer portal. That leaves Elon with 3 quarterbacks on the roster. None of them have played for the Phoenix.
Thanks for those updates, Kathan. And in more sports news, Elon Athletics has announced a partnership with WRAL TV in Raleigh that will bring Phoenix basketball to local television for the very first time. As part of the agreement, WRAL will broadcast 4 Elon men's and women's basketball games this month. The schedule includes men's matchups against Stony Brook on the 31st and the women's games against North Carolina A&T on the 23rd and the College of Charleston on the 30th.
North Carolina health officials are reporting 12 new flu-related deaths in the past week, bringing the total for the season to 39. Health leaders say there's been a significant spike in flu cases and other respiratory illnesses statewide. Doctors at UNC Hospital says the increase has led to several Triangle area hospitals to reevaluate their visitor restrictions and to limit the spread. According to the state health department, nearly 25% of emergency room visits as of December involved symptoms of respiratory viruses, with the flu being the most common.
Student Union Board Bingo has a new host. Meet the freshmen taking over next.
Hear that? That's the sound of your life. Perfectly imperfect. But every time you drive after drinking, the music gets drowned out. Your life sounds pretty great. Don't let a buzz ruin it. Buzzed driving is drunk driving. Don't drive buzzed.
In 4 days. There was an old woman who lived in a shoe. She had so many children. She didn't know what to do.
Did you have a good day at school?
She gave them some broth. Without any bread.
There you go.
And kissed them all soundly.
Night night.
Good night. And put them to bed. Hunger is a story we can end. End it at feedingamerica.org.
Women are bad with money. That's what the world's been saying for centuries. But now, we've got something to say.
Save it. It's time to save ourselves by saving our money.
Until we're no longer 80% more likely than men to live in poverty in retirement.
Save it. The falsehoods, the feelings of fault.
Then, the funds. Learn how to save for your retirement at wesaysaveit.org.
I've always been told I gotta be strong. Thick skin, tough as nails. But to be everything for everybody, it wears on you. Black don't crack, they say. But it can. We all can. Reach out to a friend if you see them going through it. No matter who you are, being vulnerable is what makes us whole. Learn how to help at seizetheawkward.org.
Elon Student Union Board's former president and subs bingo girl, Sarah Kars, graduated in December. And taking over Kars's role for the first time is freshman Alex Mantell. Bingo is one of subs' most popular events, growing in popularity over the past few years. Much of its success came from the high energy and enthusiasm Kars brought to as the host of the game. Mantell says that it was her enthusiasm that pushed her to apply, ultimately filling Kars's big shoes.
I saw Sarah up there and I was like, oh my gosh, she looks like she's having so much fun and she's interacting with so many people. And I was like, I kind of want to do that. And I didn't know anything how I was going to be able to do that. All I knew was like, I'm going to be bingo girl.
Mantell will be sharing the role with freshman Allison Bell, and they'll be switching off every other month.
You may be wondering, why has it been so warm lately? And if it'll last. ENN's Mackenzie Cruz is back in the studio with this weird winter weather. Mackenzie?
Thanks, Abby. Whether this is your first January at Elon or your fourth, you've definitely noticed how unseasonably warm it's been lately. The first week of classes had an average high of 64, with some days reaching the low 70s. So what's up with the weather? This is definitely not a typical winter in central North Carolina. According to the National Weather Service, this season's temperatures are going to be about 40 to 50% higher than average, which is what this orange color you're seeing over North Carolina is on the map. You may have heard of El Niño and La Niña, which are events based on average sea surface temperatures. And as of December, we're still in La Niña, which means cooler than normal. But the National Weather Service is predicting we'll enter ENSO neutral, which means we'll be between phases and returning to average temperatures soon. That means a cooler northern U.S. and a warmer south. And unlike last January, we're not expecting snow. That's all I have for this winter weather. Back to you at the desk.
Thanks, Mackenzie. Hopefully we'll see spring weather sooner than we think. Well, that's all the news we have for you this evening. Thank you so much for joining us.
Head over to our website, elonnewsnetwork.com, for stories, sports, and more.
Make sure to follow us on social media at Elon News Network.
Have a great night, Elon.